everybody. This is Paul Herman, the Prince of Motivation and host of Zaka Presents My Journey. We're creating this vulnerable and positive platform. You can get inspired and motivated from different leaders from our community. Today, our guest is Karoll-Ann Fanfan, who is an entrepreneur and certified tax consultant. Carol, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Hello to everybody who follows that show. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, okay with the introduction. You came ready to interview. Yeah, I was like,
yes,
I get an interview next. yeah, Carol. Just before we dive in and hear all the great things that you're doing with the community where you're living at right now, just give us a little bit of a background on where you grew up, your culture. Give us some understanding.
I grew up in Haiti, in Port-au-Prince. Actually, my background, I went to a Catholic all-girls school, truly traditional Asian. Like, I remember my childhood to be very joyful. I was happy until that we were, I don't want to say forced to migrate to the United States, but that year that we migrated, we had a couple of people that were assassinated in my family. And that's how we made the decision to migrate here. And we almost the whole family migrated at the same time. And it was a culture shock because in Haiti, you were used, well, Haiti have a lot of what they have different social class. And I will consider ourselves back then upper middle class. And then when we came here, it was such a culture shock. Like when I was in Haiti, I had my own house. My parents, everybody have their bedroom, their bathroom. And then we are 18 members of the family that come here in the US and live in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. So that was crazy.
18 people.
18 people.
Oh my.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Well, I definitely not. I mean, maybe 7, 18. You done double the number right there. Okay.
Just to shower in the morning to go to school is like
someone was getting up at 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Oh, it was on a time clock. Oh wow.
Yes.
Wow. But sorry to hear about the passings of family members. Backtrack a little bit for us. I know obviously a good amount of our guests have been on the show that are from Haitian background, but talk to us a little bit more about Port-au-Prince now and how beautiful it really is and the life.
Well, in my time, Port-au-Prince was beautiful, and my parents told me my time was not even the good time because the good time was their time. But in my time, I still remember the country was beautiful. In the weekend, you go to your beach house. People are friendly. The food is good. Everybody come back at 4 o'clock. The whole family have dinner together. Those memories sometimes, that's what keep me going because I had a good childhood. I remember good stuff about Haiti. A lot have changed now.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, putting people in position, things will change.
Yes.
Right?
And even that there was still insecurity because we lost a couple of families members, but it was not what it is now, There's a huge difference. And that was before the earthquake.
Oh,
so
yes. Now, how old were you when you moved to the States?
21 years old.
So you was in Haiti for a good amount of time. So
exactly.
That's definitely a mass. Some of the individuals that mentioned previous guests, they said they were 5, 10. They were pretty young, right? 21. You're like an adult.
I was already in college and in Haiti. And yes, that's why I said I'm native natal Asian. I still speak Creole very good. I still speak French fluently. Yeah, I am really Asian.
And what was the biggest obstacle? I mean, at 21, there's a different type of story at that point in time. It's not like it's 5 and I'm following my parents' footsteps. You're 21 and you most likely have to go right to work. You have to start bringing in income for the family. It's 18 of y'all living in a 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, you said, apartment.
Yes.
So what was that responsibility on you at 21?
Yeah, that was very challenging because the way I grew up is after you graduate high school, you go to college, you're not working. You only work after you graduate college, after you finish everything about your studies. So when I came here, that was different because I was obligated to work. And in my country, when I left, I was on the dean list because I was always a very intelligent person and very brilliant in school. And when I came here, I cannot go to school because I don't have my papers. So that it was a lot of challenges. So and the work that I was doing, this is not work that I would ever. When I was in Haiti, I was in school for business administration because my dad had a career in working with the government and having his business. So I always knew what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to follow in his footsteps. Maybe I was going to take over the family business. And then here I am here. I have to do, I think one of my first job was I was helping. There was a old lady, and I think she had a stroke, or I don't know what she had, but something with her heart. And then she couldn't go to the bathroom on her own, meaning after she go
Mm.
to the bathroom. So that was my first job. I was just here to help her clean herself up after she go to the bathroom. And she didn't like that I was Asian and black. So that was she employed me, but she didn't want me to sit anywhere in her house. If I
Okay.
was doing like 8 hours, I had to like stay standing in the kitchen. And then so she called me when she needs me. So that was really terrible.
Mm, mm. I'm sorry
Yeah,
you even had to kind of one of the first job experiences is that,
I know, I
right? I know
know.
everyone's like, this is the land of opportunity, and you're like, what opportunity is this? Right? You got a question, you're like, hold up, let me go back. Let me. I know y'all want to come here, but let me go back there.
Yes,
Right. No,
yes,
and obviously at that point in time, your family members are like, we have to do this, we have to stick together. The culture, that family, orientation where it's like, look, we're here together, we're gonna work together. And you're like,
exactly.
I guess I gotta stick it out. Now, you know, we kind of hinted on and talked a little bit more about Port-au-Prince and how beautiful it is. And you said that your parents said that back then in their time it was beautiful. So just imagine
Yes.
your grandparents, it was even better, right? But
Yes,
currently today, there's a lot of things that's being put out, especially now with elections and the way things are moving in the world of today. The Haitian community is being downgraded on, in so many ways. There's different memes, different conversations about the Haitian culture and about Haitian immigrants. What's your perspective on it? How do you feel?
well, first of all, when that came out in the news, in the debate, whatever, I was really disappointed. That's the first thing. Why I was disappointed is because they always make me believe I came here and here's supposed to be better than my home. So to me, having people just say things that they have no actual fact, and this is people that represent something. So I was really disappointed. I'm like, what? That's something that um I would not think that can happen here. That someone, if you're in a position in power and you just say anything without checking fact. So I was really disappointed because, I hold the United States in high regard. They are the superpower. So here's everything supposed to be better and educate me better. But that was my first emotion about this event. Then the second thing is I got very annoyed because I had a really large following on social media, and my non-Asian friends or followers were inboxing me. Is that true? Is that true that you guys eat cat? And I was like, show me. And then some of them was sending me TikTok videos. I'm like, okay, show me one video where I can see a Asian doing what you say you're doing. Then we can talk. All those videos that you're sending me that people are crying, that is true, blah, blah. I'm really not interested. And but I kept my composure because the way they came at me, they always, some of them were very like persistent, borderline disrespectful.
Mm,
But I always try to like keep my composure and know that maybe they don't know better. But people should not be able to just say things that doesn't check out. And that's very unfortunate. And that created a lot of tension in Springfield, where the Asian community, they really, I think, bring a positive add to Springfield because we are hard worker, okay? We are hard worker, and so I think they're bringing positivity. They didn't deserve that they denigrate them like that.
Mhm. I'm sorry that that was even said and stated. And you are right. When leaders are in a position and a platform to express for the greater good, they should use it for the greater good and
That's
not
right.
to downgrade and segregate cultures, nations. Right? We're supposed to be with a land of dreams, a land of hope. It should be a collective of diversity in some way building together. But that is and just the fact that people are sending you these memes and borderline kind of bullying you,
Yes.
online, while you're
Mhm.
trying to provide a service. And like you said, your community, the Haitian community and culture is, hard workers. During the course of the day, you're not trying to entertain, you know, ignorant conversations to people sending you memes of, do Haitians really eat cats and things like that? That's which is sorry to say that's even a thing. And I know that the Haitian community has been um, looked at in several times in a very negative way,
Yes.
and it really affects, how obviously the Haitian culture is still the Haitian culture. Haitian to the bone is what they would say, right? But the community around who doesn't know too much about the Haitian culture, this is sometimes their first interaction with it. They're like, wait, Haitian? Oh, they do this? Oh, they do that? Oh, I saw them in the news. It's always the Haitians. And it just creates the segregation and it causes those issues. But the Haitian culture, one thing about you guys, you stay together, you ride together, you push
Yes.
together, right? So keep doing what you're doing and keeping that hope alive and keeping that positive light shining on the Haitian culture. You're doing a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Now, when we talk about the immigrant culture, right, and we're talking about the Haitian culture, you know, obviously on the media, they're going to say that the Haitian culture is X, Y, and Z. You kind of highlighted just a little bit ago, a little percentage on it. You said that the Haitian culture is hardworking, right? So could you give us another two qualities that maybe even just the Haitian culture or just immigrants as a whole possess that could help them in, you know, success here in the
Well,
States?
they are resilient. Okay, so
That's a big word
they
for y'all.
they
Almost every guest says the same word when it comes to the
yes,
Haitian.
yes, we are very resilient, and they adapt quickly, they learn quickly, and to me, Asian is a very special type of people. We are very family oriented. Um, well, the Haiti that I remember,
Okay,
it's
okay,
just so warm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's the two things that come in my mind: resilience and adaptability. They are
Which are
very
very
resilient.
important in any type of industry that we're in right now.
That's true.
Yeah. So having those two things, some immigrants might have thought of it like, oh, I have resilience or I have to adapt. But now, in position of leadership, look how important it is when you're in that position, right?
That's
And how
right.
to utilize it for the greater good and not for the greater bad, right? Now let's dive into it. I want to know a little bit more about your career and how you started. How did you become a leader within the tax consulting?
Actually, it's a very funny story. I never planned to be a tax consultant. So back in 2000, I think 2008, where there was the big real estate crash. I
Mhm.
don't know if you remember that time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I used to be a realtor actually. And I always like to do things where I am independent because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So I don't have a mindset of 9 to 5. So the real estate market crashed, and a lot of realtors didn't know what to do. And they were like going to apply for 9 to 5 job. And every time that I was set up to go in an interview, I was literally sick because I didn't want to work 9 to 5 for somebody else. So there is a lady, my mentor, who actually taught me taxation. She saw that I had a good personality in the social media, and Facebook was getting, the social media boom was starting to happen. And I think in her head, she thought that I was maybe a good addition for office. So she said, listen, I offer that class. And if you take the class that I give, you will have the opportunity to also work in my office. Are you interested? I was borderline depressed. So I said yes, but really my heart was not into it because in my head it's like, how long is going to be the crash for the real estate? What is my future now? So I went to take the class and I was so disconnected that I had to take the class twice because the first time after it was like, I think 5 days. And I told her, listen, I think I need to repeat because I was not really here in the class. And she was really patient. So I took the class a second time and she gave me the opportunity to work in her office. So I started as a data entry person. And until I start going up the ladder until I became the manager for 3 of her offices. And then finally I opened mine. So I never had taxation as something that I was navigating to. But I'm going to tell you is one part of my journey that make me become a six-figure earner.
Mm-hmm.
So I always tell people, you never know. You never know what's in your journey because, and
That's
she
true.
had to ask me more than once to come to the class. I didn't say yes the first time. I said no a couple of times, and she was persistent. I think she had a vision for me,
Okay.
and
The vision is working. The vision is working.
so and the fact that I went through that going into taxation journey that made me totally a complete different person. So I never let go of my real estate license. But if today I was to go back really in real estate, I feel like I'll be killing it because I'm so much a different person because of this journey.
Mm. And that's always important, transferable skills, transferring from one thing to the next to the next. And sometimes we never know exactly, like you said, you just don't know your journey, right? You got
Exactly.
someone else is driving for us. We're just in the passenger seat, right? So not knowing where it's going to end up and trusting in the process. And then when you get to your location, you're like, well, I could actually use this, this, and this, and this to get ahead, right? And those transferable skills are very important. And I feel like you said, being resilient as well, to having those types of traits as well, adding to those transferable skills, make you definitely something very marketable to any company or even as an entrepreneur trying to develop your own business. And
That's
shout out to
right.
you. You say you were managing and all of a sudden you open your own. Like that's like, and going from the person who's like, I don't even want to go to class,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
That's
But
a big one.
I'm so grateful to her. Till now, I always try for a birthday to take her out or stay in touch because I'm like, I owe you that you make me go to the next level. Without meeting you, I would never be there because I was not doing six-figure in real estate. I was not.
You definitely pulled it off. So shout to you and shout to your mentor. And I'm glad you mentioned that word mentor because a lot of the guests previously had mentioned the word mentor, along the journey. Now, as you have progressed, you went from managing to now owning. How do you
Mhm.
feel being a role model, right?
I love it because I feel like now I'm looking back at my past. I always try to be a role model because I always try to be the voice of those who cannot speak. Um, so the social media now bring me like some type of celebrity, but the person that I am, I feel like I was always that. because I always like to represent those who cannot talk or to share, to lead. It was always my personality, even when I was like in high school.
Okay. Okay.
So,
And it just transferred over.
mhm.
Now, the word of the day, taxes, right? I
Yeah.
know everyone doesn't really like that. I know extensions, October 15th, that extension. If you filed an extension, you got you got to get it in. I know these things, right? And a
Mhm,
lot of people run away from taxes, right? And I
mhm.
could only imagine, individuals that come from different cultures, different communities, uh, different countries, don't even speak the language, right?
Mm.
To try to adapt and understand all the verbiage that goes behind these things,
That's
right?
right.
So I know you see a lot of challenges when it comes down to filing taxes for
Yeah.
individuals, first or second generation immigrants. What do you think is like the biggest challenge that they face or that you see on a regular basis?
Well, understanding the tax system, because as I explained to you earlier, a lot of Asian, we don't even work until we're done with college. So that's mean when I left Haiti, I never paid tax in my life. So I come here, I don't know what you're talking about. Because something else that we have in our culture as well, the parents, they don't like to share the responsibility with the children. If you're a kid, you stay a kid, you don't know nothing.
That's
When
right.
it's
That's right.
yeah, when once it's time for you to know about taxation or whatever, that's when you know. So at 21 years old, I never paid tax in my life in my country. So you need to learn all this to comprehend all this. So that's a challenge. Then secondly, the language. I see that as a challenge. So my clients are mostly Asian. I serve a lot of different people, but I'm happy to serve Asian because they have been a lot of time taking advantage of, and
Sure.
I'm a very good. I don't want to say I'm a very good teacher, but I have the art that I can explain something very complicated, but that you will understand it. So I like that. I like that I can help them understand. Many times when people come to my office the first time, they said, "Oh my God, I never understood it." They don't even understand it. Some people they just give their paper to a taxpayer power and then okay, tell me what am I going to make? Am I making something? Am I owing something?
Yeah.
But they
What do I
never
sign?
understood anything. But in my office, I'm different. You are totally explained a way that you can understand. Because to me, an educated client is a lifetime client. Because nobody can just sway my client with any gimmick, let me give you more
Yeah.
money. My clients, they understand how
That
it
they,
works,
yeah.
basically.
That's important. That's important. You're not just looking for the sale. You're looking to educate, and you're trying to build a community and loyal customers, right?
Yeah,
Like you said, you want them to
I'm a
know.
people person.
Yeah. So if someone tries to, bamboozle them on some, hey, look, if you work with me, you're gonna get a bigger return. And everyone's like, whoa, bigger return. I'm gonna go bigger return. But then they know like there's no way I can get a bigger return because I don't make this amount of money. Like you're
Yes.
helping them along the way. And
Yeah, they
and
know.
also it helps you when you're doing their taxes because if they're preparing it the right way for
Ex
you, you're not gonna be stressed out hours on
exactly.
end trying to file for so many people that just don't even know what they're doing.
Actually, even the name of the office has to do with that. So the office is TaxFit, and tax fit like fitness, because fitness,
Mm,
you don't show up at the gym in one day and then you accomplish something. It's a process. So that's what I want to give them. Like, you come talk to me before the year is over. I love when they call me at the beginning of the year talking about next year. That's when we need to talk, so you can set up yourself the proper way along the year.
come
Not
on, that's right.
when you come to my office in February. What can I do for you? I cannot do miracles.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
you can't go back in time.
no.
And it's
So
very, and then obviously it is very hard to kind of backtrack and cancel things out. It's you don't work magic, you do taxes.
exactly.
So I can only imagine. Could you help me out? I can't really help you because this is not even done right. But the good thing about it is that you don't get them to leave. You say, "Let me show you." So when you come back, this is the
That's right.
proper way to hand it to me. And that's
That's
that's helpful because and when you see someone that looks like you, speaks your language, who understands you, who probably went through the same system, you
mm-hmm.
telling them in a very delicate way,
Yeah.
this is incorrect. I need you to go back and for a whole year, you need to do it this way. And then that year, next year, you come back to me and have them come back is beautiful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that we talked about the individual. Let's talk about small businesses. Obviously, some of our immigrant friends and
The
family members have
mhm.
businesses. So small. Let's talk about small businesses. What's like one of the biggest challenges they face when you're doing their taxes?
The biggest challenge is when they just started having a small business, they're truly not organized. They are all over the place. They sometimes they don't even yet have a LLC. They start that business in their living room, in their
Woo.
kitchen, and they come and go funds. They don't track expenses. It's a whole it's a whole education hour for me and them, but I like it
You got
because
your
when
hands
they
full.
when they are prepared, listen, after that they understand, they come to me. Those who want to really have QuickBooks, they come to me with the report of QuickBooks or the Excel sheet. So my job is really easier.
Mhm. And when it comes down to like mortgages, buying
Mhm,
houses,
mhm.
obviously marriage, like all these things matter. Like, how you educate your clients when it comes to those kind of things?
Well, the whole year long, I send them newsletter, and I'm
Oh, good.
very active on social media. So I have lots of informational videos that's talking about the subject that I feel that always causing a problem or that people misunderstand. Um, I'm social media, emails, text, and I'm always welcoming them to call me. They can call me because I'm open all year long. So if they want a consultation, they said, listen, I need to talk to you about something that I'm going to do, etc., etc. And then I tell them, I kind of advise them and direct them what is the right way to go.
The fact that you have all these clients with you, the amount of stories and like confusion that's in the
Mhm.
office. But again, you're prepping. You're helping to season them up right, so you have a lot of loyal and clients that are actually getting it done the right. Because I can only imagine during tax season. Every accountant or consultant that I've ever worked with, for tax prepper, they're like, Paul, I don't even talk to me for the next month because I'm done.
That's you remind me that at the beginning when I was really, really like, when you transition, boom, and I start losing some friends because they don't understand that they WhatsApp me and I couldn't answer for 3 days. And they said, Caroline, I don't understand. What do you mean you couldn't answer for 3 days? It takes 1 second. I'm like, girl, I don't even have that second. You understand that? I need to put on the calendar everything, even the time that I pee or I'm not peeing. And
Oh,
I didn't start the office huge. Actually, the way I started was very funny. I mean, it's a story. So I was very broke when I started this office. I didn't even have at the time Metro PCS was the cheapest cell phone to have, and it was $50 per month, and I didn't even have that. But because, and that's why I want to tell people, when you stay in character, it helps when people know that you're an honest person. So the way that I'm started, there was one of my friends who actually have his tax office. And I was talking to him, said, I want to start. And then he said, listen, I trust you. I trust that you're honest. You're not going to do any client that's working in my office because that's my client. You work with your client by appointment. I'm going to rent you one chair and one table, and when you start making money, you can reimburse me the months that you spent here. That's how I started.
okay,
And
a good deal.
yeah,
Good,
yeah,
that's a
that was
good deal.
and then I multiply and multiply and multiply. And then every year now, the main challenge for me is I feel like I outgrew myself too fast, because it's like I prepared the foundation for a 2-story building, and the next year I'm a 6-story. So I go back to the grinding mode and thinking how I'm going to rearrange everything. Okay, we are ready for a 6-story, and then now I have an 8-story building. So this is one of my main challenge. It's like I never can say, okay, I got it. We're good now.
No, 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 no. I don't think any entrepreneur can say that. You can throw that out. So any listener listening right now, we're gonna keep it 100 with you. We're gonna keep it a stack. It's never. There's always something, because you want more for yourself. You want more for your business. You want more for your community. We should always be striving for that.
Yes,
So
that's right.
it does seem that you got to be kind of like borderline crazy to be an entrepreneur.
That is so true. And
You gotta have a little crazy in you.
you have to be willing to make a lot of sacrifices, but they are worth it. For myself personally, what really motivated me, I didn't want to actually work for long. I want to retire early. So I was always telling myself, okay, now you grind because you have a short amount of time to do what you want to do. And
Mm-hmm.
but after that, when you evolve in your higher self, you realize that there's no such things as never being done. You just have bigger dreams. You
Yeah.
just migrate for bigger stuff, but you never like, okay, I'm done, I retire.
And so you make a good amount of money and go back to Haiti, go back to Port-au-Prince,
That
get
would be
yourself a
the
house on a
dream.
mountaintop, countryside, and you're good.
And
Yeah,
I and I, tru- and I truly believe in giving back to my
yeah,
community.
that's big. That's big. When
Yeah.
you talked about having people come in and you're educating them, but like let's talk about it's 2024. Just like social
Mhm,
media was a big boom, there's a lot of
mhm,
online services for taxes. Like, how are you
mhm.
competing with that?
I'm not competing because
Oh,
what I'm offering has nothing to do with the online services. And that's interesting because I was talking. I always try to be the mentor of somebody else, and I was talking about to someone that I was mentoring, and they were like, because my next move is I'm going to open a tax coaching. So people who wants to have a successful business like me, I'm going to help them become
mhm.
one like me. And she was telling me, are you not afraid? Like, so that's mean you're going to lose all your clients. And I told her, listen, there's 3 million Asian here in the
Let's go.
US before Biden. Okay. So even if I wanted to do all the Asian people, I would not be able to. So I want people to understand there's enough for everyone. There is the community that want the online, that want to do it myself. And there's the community that want someone that's going to be one-on-one. And there's some people, they will not do the tax via Zoom or call. They want to sit
Yeah,
in front of you. They want their little packet to go home. So you're
you're
always
right.
gonna
You're right.
find
You're
there's
right.
and that's a I feel when you can understand this really and really grabs this, that's when you're really going to grow as an entrepreneur. Because I remember when I was coming here, in this building, I've been here for like 10 years in this building. And then I see there was a lot of tax office. And I was talking to one of my mentors. I'm like, maybe I should find another spot. There's so many tax office. I'm going to be inside of another tax office. So that's competition. And he's like, no, you
Yeah.
need to change your mindset. That's not competition. That's actually the center point where a lot of people are coming for taxation. So you're just here and you're going to get low hanging fruits. We even had like IRS had an office that was doing tax for free in my building, but I still had got my clientele and they're not going anywhere else. So
Yeah.
I don't see anything as competition. I see that everything has their lane, and there are going to be people that like this and there are going to be people that like that.
And it's important to find your lane.
That's
If you're
right.
an entrepreneur, it's important to find your lane. And if you find your lane early in the game, then you could obviously map out a lot of other things. You could service a lot more people, right?
That's right.
Now, with you, I know you're very big on diversifying your skills. We talked about it a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
your skill set and passion. Besides being a tax consultant, what are other entrepreneurial endeavors that you have going on? Because you seem very animated. I love your energy. So I noticed this
And
Haitian
I'm
culture.
calming myself down actually.
Okay, okay, okay. Listeners, letting you know, we're just calming it down a little bit tonight, right? So, in if there are there any other endeavors or is something that you're looking into in the near future?
Yes, I actually I have I sell clothes for plus size people like myself. Um, so I do have that, but
Online?
online, yes.
Okay.
It's called Kouka's Closet. And I tried to, okay, so my story is I was always plus size. And I never understood how I feel like some of the clothes they sell for plus size, they just the way I receive it is, listen, as long as you have a piece of clothes that can go over you, you're good. Because they really don't they don't put no love and
Yeah,
no,
just come for the manufacturers. Just came for all the manufacturers right now.
Yeah,
Wow.
so I want to make a difference. And also, I want to inspire plus size women confidence because I went through a little journey of being bullied for my size. I had a lot of, it's a very interesting journey. And now I'm really like okay with myself. So I want to help other women that are in my shoes because most of the time they don't talk, they don't express themselves. People say things to them that they feel that like that is normal, but it's not. You have somebody, the way that I explain it, some plus size people, they are so depressed that to get out of bed is an effort. And then you conquer that and you make an effort and you go outside in the world, and the first thing you find is someone tell you something that crush you. So
That throws you off right there.
that's very dear to me. So the plus size. 2 years ago, I went into I was I had a hot sauce line.
Wait, well, pause for a second. Bring it back.
Hot-
Hot sauce line.
yes, hot
Is that
sauce.
is that like a food place or something? What's up?
No,
Hot
that's a
sauce.
hot sauce, like spice to put a little
Oh,
flavor.
I thought the name of the restaurant was called Hot Sauce. I was at Hot Sauce. I was like,
That's an
okay,
idea. That's an idea.
oh, don't steal my idea now. You entrepreneurs, I know how you move. I was you were like, I was at Hot Sauce, and I was like, okay, Hot Sauce. I don't know. I'm about to Google it right now. Like, so talk to me.
Yes. Well, that didn't last, but I believe before that I would spend money um in temporary thing. I believe in investing because you never know what's gonna be your next need. So I'm someone, if I can invest, I'm always willing to invest in my future, invest in other individuals that I want to help also. So but for now, I just have the tax and the plus size plus store. And as I'm telling you, the next big thing for me as of next year will be the coaching program. And all of this really funnel that I want to be a motivational speaker. Okay. That's the end.
Oh,
That's the end for me, being a motivational speaker.
come on, Zaka thought leader right here.
The Asian opera.
Okay. I kind of like that. That might be the line right there. We might have to get some shirts. You say you got some clothes. You got a clothing line, right?
Yes.
You have to put on the sleeve the Haitian Oprah right there.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Love that. Love that. And you said how you were always you always like that feeling of helping, right?
Yes.
So the fact that everything that you're doing from being in Haiti to then going into, your adulthood in the States to inclining to being a manager to then being the leader and owning your own business and helping out a lot of the Haitian community, you're a leader at the end of the day. So the fact that you want to continue that, you're leaning into it. So as a motivational speaker, that's like going to like the next level, a very high level. It's like having a PhD and being a doctor at a school and speaking. right? And helping out in those lectures. So to be a motivational speaker and to share your story, which is beautiful. And I'm so blessed that you're here on our Zaka platform to be here and share your journey with us, because the stories that you mentioned today, I could only imagine in those motivational seminars what you're gonna say, right? So
Yeah,
kudos to you. And
there's
I'm
plenty more stories.
just throwing all the blessings your way right now. Throwing all the blessings your way
Thank you. I
because
receive it.
you come on now, you better two hands out. Because you got a lot going on. You got a lot going on, and your vibration is very high, right? And I know maybe in our follow up interview, you'll be like, "Hey, Paul, I achieved that, right? I'm a motivational speaker now." But out of all the things you have achieved in your journey at the present moment, not
Mhm.
including that you're going to be a motivational speaker at some point in time, what's one of your proudest moments?
My proudest moment was when I could really help someone out of the blue without him asking and really make a difference. That meant a lot to me.
Mm, mm,
So I called somebody. There was somebody that was struggling in the industry, and I gifted them like $25,000. And I never thought I'll be in a position that I could do that. You know, that's one of my proudest moment, like when you can
wow.
help somebody else.
And not think about it. Like, you know what?
Exactly.
Here we go. You're not saying, "Can I get that back? Hey, next week." Hey,
And
look,
that was so funny because the person keep calling me saying, "But what can I do for you? What can?" And he was looking for many things that he could do. I'm like, "Listen, you need to learn to receive." And then he's like, "Okay, so I'm gonna promote you." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, that's fine."
bless your soul. Bless
Yeah.
your soul, girl. Mm, Zaka. Zaka. Okay? You Haitian, living it
the
up, leader, thought leader. You are
what
doing it big and you're doing it very well. You're doing it very
Yeah.
well. What's
What people need to know is there is a huge power in giving back. So I'm really big in following the one that precede me, like the one that have success. And you see, like when you started that interview, I will be saying some words, and you said yes. Everybody else say that words before. It's because the recipe for success is actually the same. So you're going to see that leaders that are in high position, they almost talk the same, maybe in different words, but it's the same essence. And you
mm,
will you will see that they all tell you there's a power in giving back. Trust me. I embrace this so much that I actually every year I'm looking, what am I gonna give away? I have to give away something.
yeah, it's the end of the year. You like, all right, give
Yes.
me that pillow. Give me that. This, we just gonna start donating right now. But it's
Yes,
you're true. It's true. It's true, right? You know, you got to pay it forward. You got to pay it
that's
forward.
right.
You can't get to I know, obviously, as first generation and second generation immigrants, we come here with the intention of like making it on our own,
That's
right?
right.
And helping our family make it. It's very hard to look to the left and the right at times when you're inclining up that ladder to then give to somebody else, right, in need. But there's always someone that has it worse than us, right? There's always
That's
someone,
right.
and you, not saying that the young gentleman that had it worse than you or the next person, but you saw that there was potential in him. You knew that there was a way for him to ignite that fire inside of him. And yes, it was a monetary donation that you gave over in his direction, but I know it also came with some positive words as well too. You know, so
Oh
it wasn't
yes.
like, hey, here's 25 and just keep moving. It was more like, let's sit down. You know, you already have that type of nurturing inside of you, that nurturing ability to be like, okay, here's the 25, but let me make sure or help you take this 25 and invest. And you're an investor, right? You know what I'm saying, you do it all the time, so you know how to flip.
I
Go
invest
ahead,
in
good job.
people.
So if you've had a lot of that was a very proud moment of yours, but I know there was a lot of tough moments, right? Maybe
Yes.
when you wanted to quit, maybe when it was raining too much, not like how it is right now in Florida, but the rain was coming down on you, right? And you were like, look, this is not what I needed. And I know you talked a little bit about it, a scenario where people were kind of bullying you online. with the memes and the comments and stuff like that. But was there another moment in your life professionally where you felt that was very tough and you had to get out of it?
I'm trying to see which one because there's many. Like it's every day that you overcome tough spot. One of them is not so as an entrepreneur, but in one of the jobs that I was doing, I was actually the secretary in a real estate office. And one day, the 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 wife of my boss. So in a real estate office, real estate, they work on commission, right?
Yep.
So me as a secretary, I'm the only salary person in there. And I was getting paid very little, like $200 a week. So my boss, who was Asian, and when he talked to me, he can see what is my background. So yes, I'm an immigrant here. That's why maybe I'm doing this job, but he knows who I was in my country. So every week he will just say if he doesn't have the time to be on Friday, he will actually sign a blank check. And listen, I know it was not the account that had the money, it was maybe some little account. And then he would say, Karoll-Ann, just fill it out for your little $200. So his wife never knew that. So one Friday that he had to go because he had some client from New York, and then he told me, as usual, Karoll-Ann, please finish the work. Here's a check. You can fill it out for your check later. And the wife was really not happy. So she said, I'm going to stay and I'll give Karoll-Ann the check. So after I finished my shift, when I went to get the check, she threw the check on the floor in front of everybody else. And she told me, let me translate because she speak Creole, but she said, you wanted to fill out checks, so here, fill it out. And I felt so small. I actually left the check on the floor and I wrote my resignation letter. There was no mean for this. That totally crushed me.
You're
And
like,
what's funny now?
it's space, but yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
lady, when she meet me, if I go like to an Asian concert, she act like she forget this. She's like, "Oh, how are you, Karoll-Ann?" Because now when I go out, my community know me very
Oh, you
well. Many
big.
people knows me,
You
and she
big.
always and I don't say anything. I'm like, okay, hi, because I don't
That's
believe.
good. That is good. That's yeah, I'm proud of you right there. That's very hard to have that moment of when someone humiliated you in front of your coworkers, right?
Yes,
And then you see them out and about. You're a lot older. You're a lot more mature, right? You obviously are very successful. You could easily retaliate at that point in time, but you're like,
yeah,
no, it's not. There's no need to. I retaliate with my success, and you are doing it. You are shining bright. That's why she's always coming your way, man. Oh my God, how are you? Because the sun is shining bright on your side.
that's
And
right,
let
that's
it keep
right.
going. Let it keep going. Let it keep going. I'm sorry that was even a situation for you, and you obviously, but you did the right thing. You left the check there and you said, look, I'm gonna sign my resignation letter and I'm out. Right.
That's
I don't
right.
have to deal with that. But I know in other situations, and a lot of our listeners have spoken up about it, and some of our guests as well, in situations like that, they couldn't leave. They felt that if they left, they were going to be letting down their family. If they left, they wouldn't find another job. But you have to trust the process and you have to trust yourself. You walked out of there not knowing what was the next step. You just knew you had to leave. You left,
That's
and look where
right.
you are right now, smiling
And
away.
that's why I think any of the bad situation that happened to me in my journey, I'm not bitter, I'm not mad because they actually contributed to the next step. So a lot of things that happened to me that was terrible, I feel like I want to go back to those people and give them a hug. I said, thank you.
No word. Yeah. I honestly, I'm with you too. I'm exactly with you. There's a lot of people that I know that in my journey along the way who have kind of like belittled me on my journey as I was inclining up that ladder. But now I think about them and I'm like, you know what? They need a hug. These people need love because they didn't have it back then, and who knows if they have it now. But we do, and that's
That's
why
right.
we're successful, and that's why we're paying it back and paying it forward.
That's
in so
right.
many different ways. And I want to leave you with one last question because you have dropped a lot of gems and a lot of knowledge, and I appreciate the energy and the vibration that we've had on this conversation.
I
Um,
could
I
talk
feel
to
like
you all night.
I know, right? I know, right? We might have to start cooking dinner together.
Yeah.
get, some, get some food on the grill or something and start really talking about stuff, right? But like, what is like the best advice you could give to an immigrant who's coming into the country that wants to get into tax consultant? Because I know that's the profession that you're in. Like, how do they get involved in it? Do they come find you?
Well, not even. I have a few advice I want to give to the immigrant, and that doesn't have to do exactly with only taxation. First thing I would say is to educate yourself. When I say educate yourself, because so I'm talking from my point of view, what happened to me. When you're in Haiti, for example, if Greg told me go speak to Paul, I just transfer the trust that I have in Greg to you. I don't question anything. And that's why the first disappointment I had in this country is someone refer me to a lawyer to help for my papers, and that person was not a lawyer at all. But I didn't know that I can verify that they are a lawyer. We don't have that. So this is an advice I really want to give. It's okay, even though we don't come from that culture, it's okay to question things, to look for yourself. I know that you're not going to find everything that's true on Google, but at least if someone tell you something, Google it. See if there are other people saying that, because I've been victim of that. And this is very serious because this country do not forgive because you ignore. They don't care. Some stuff that you're going to take the responsibility, even if you didn't know, you will be liable for it. So that's the first advice I would give. Educate yourself, questions everything, learn for yourself. Don't just want other people to lead you without knowing where you're going. And I practice that a lot in my office. Even when I tell a client something, I'm like, go to the IRS website, see for yourself, Google, question me. If you don't understand and you don't agree, tell me, no problem. Let's talk. You don't have to get everything that I say to face value. Um, the second thing that I would say, so educate yourself. And as an immigrant, try to talk to people that walk the path already. Because in our country, we have something that people don't like to talk about their stuff. So that's mean people think if they're coming to talk to me, I will not share my journey with them. I don't want them to know what happened bad to me. But that's not true. The real leaders, they want to share and they want for the others to not go through what they went through actually. So keep seeking that. You will find the right one. But talking to people that already traveled the journey before you will help you not make the same mistake. You don't need to be making all the mistake. It's okay to learn from others. And third, I would say to read a lot, because this country is a country you can learn about anything that you want. There's a book for that. There's a YouTube video for that. So put values on top of your value. I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
yeah. No, no,
Yeah,
no, no. You are right. In other countries, you said it right. You said a very big line right there. In other countries, they don't have access to those things. The free podcast, the free YouTube, the free, website that has access to all these things, the Googles and stuff. Like we look at it and like, oh, they talk about YouTube University, right?
yeah,
But this is actually very helpful. And like you said, question it, right?
exactly.
Don't just come in here and be like,
Oh,
okay, I'm just gonna fall in line because someone else's journey doesn't have to be your journey, right?
let me
And more
share.
importantly, it would never be your journey because your journey is your journey. But you don't have to follow in their footsteps. You could
That's right.
say, I'm gonna follow in their footsteps up until here,
That's right.
and then because I have the knowledge, I'm gonna go left, right? And it's important to know when to pick up, when to go, when to leave. But you talked about a lot of great things, and Karoll-Ann, like thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for just being present on this platform today and sharing your stories and being very open and vulnerable with us and letting our listeners know truly what really goes on in the
I enjoy
entrepreneur life. Yes,
it.
Karoll-Ann. And I want to just let the listeners know, if you want to hear more inspirational stories like Karoll-Ann, please check us out on ZakaConnect.com. Follow us on our social at Zaka Connect and follow our feed, Zaka, wherever you listen to your podcast.